If I think of my channel as a fork, then it has three main prongs. There are the really popular videos, which turn out to be old television and radio, mainly television. Then there is the stuff I consider the main content of my channel, which is the phone calls where I talk to scammers, and also my long-running silly series, making fun of a series of scam ads for binary options investments. And finally, there are wry observations on the world, occasional videos like this one. YouTube provides a lot of support for its content creators, but until very recently I was unaware that it offered inspiration, ideas for your next video. So in this video I thought I'd take a quick look at some of the content that YouTube thinks I should make for my viewers. So, what's first on the list? British comedy legends, a look back at Peter Cook. Some viewers are interested. Are they now? Well, I don't know if that's Peter Cook in the thumbnail really. Then, the power of laughter, the impact of comedians on society. The evolution of humour is explored through the lens of iconic comedians. You'll notice that Peter Cook was also the iconic British comedian, so it's all very iconic. Then there's behind the scenes of classic British TV shows. A behind the scenes look at the making of some of Britain's most beloved TV shows is explored. Niche topic, so nobody's going to be watching that. Then there's 1990s British TV commercials, the nostalgia factor. And then there's the evolution of British TV comedy. And already all these things are sounding like a lot of hard work, really. But let's see what the AI thinks I should be saying about Peter Cook. Peter Cook, the iconic British comedian, is celebrated in this video. His sharp wit, unique style and lasting impact on British comedy are explored through clips from some of his most memorable performances. Well, where am I going to get them from? Question hook. Ever heard of Peter Cook? Probably not, but you've definitely seen his influence on comedy today. Or, he was a comedic genius who redefined satire, a master of improvisation, and a pioneer of groundbreaking TV. The early years, a spark of genius, a master of improvisation, the Derek and Clive years, the golden age of British comedy, Cook's stage presence. And then, a legacy of laughter, the enduring impact of Peter Cook. I mean, where am I supposed to get all this information from? Perhaps they want me to use AI to generate a whole script about it, but it's not really the sort of thing I want to do. There are whole British television documentaries about Peter Cook. What can I possibly add to it? I know enough about it. I know enough about the background of British comedy of that time. I don't know enough to produce a convincing video. How about the power of laughter? Oh no, we're looking at the 1990s British TV commercials, the nostalgia factor. A nostalgic journey. Remember those hilarious and catchy British TV commercials from the 90s? The ones that made you laugh out loud and stick in your head for days? What? That's a bit oddly phrased. Get ready for a trip down memory lane as we explore the unique blend of humour, creativity and cultural relevance that made these commercials so memorable. Well, if you've actually watched my collection of television commercials from the 1990s, you'll know that some are memorable, but most of them have been completely forgotten. They did their job, and I think they're probably better than today's advertising, but that's just my age. Or there's a promise of value hook. Looking for a dose of pure nostalgia and a laugh out loud good time? This video is your ticket to relive the magic of 1990s British TV commercials, featuring some of the most memorable and iconic, there's that word again, campaigns that captured the hearts and minds of a generation. I think the problem with that is it's not true. I mean, they're not really a laugh-out-loud good time. Some of them are mildly amusing. I can't think of many of the campaigns of the 1990s that captured the hearts and minds of a generation. Possibly the Renault, I can't remember what car it was, Nicole and Papa campaign. And certainly the Ferrero Rocher ad, which has got over 500,000 views. People like it so much. And, you know, it is nostalgia to an extent, but it's not a laugh-out-loud good time. And I would be overselling my video if I said it was your ticket to relive the magic of 1990s British TV commercials, because there's not a lot of magic in them. Right, let's go on. Here we go. The rise of the TV ad. The 1990s saw the rise of TV advertising as a powerful force in British culture, and these commercials became more than just marketing tools. Well, that's not true. TV advertising was plateauing at that stage, I think. They were part of the social fabric, shaping our humour, values, and even our language. I can't think of any particular examples of that apart from...
Monsieur, où est Ferrero Rocher? You're really spoiling us.
And, you know, that's a cultural reference that today's generations won't be familiar with, probably. These commercials often featured memorable characters, catchy jingles, and clever humour, creating a strong connection with viewers. Well, I mean, that was the state of advertising from, I don't know, 1940s onwards, probably. The power of nostalgia. The 1990s commercials trigger a wave of nostalgia for a simpler time. We see familiar brands, products, and even celebrities that evoke feelings of comfort and familiarity. These ads also remind us of the cultural landscape of the 1990s, from the music and fashion to the social trends and anxieties. Well, some of that is true. There is a degree of comfort to be gained from watching them, I suppose. Iconic campaigns. Oh, iconic again. All right. This video will showcase some of the most memorable 1990s British TV commercials. Well, I mean, there again, that's a huge amount of research I'd have to do. We'll delve into the creative brilliance behind these campaigns, dissecting the humour, the clever use of storytelling, and the memorable characters that made them so successful. Well, I suppose Maureen Lipman playing BT in the BT commercials, with her son Melvin. I suppose that is an example of that. We'll explore the cultural impact these ads had, highlighting how they shaped our perceptions of certain products and brands, and how they reflected the social and political climate of the time. Well, I'm not really interested in exploring that cultural impact. I'm sorry. What next? Yeah, behind the scenes. We'll talk to some of the creative minds behind these iconic commercials. Where am I going to... Who has the contacts for them? How am I going to pay them for their contribution? The legacy of 1990. I don't want to look at this anymore. While the 1990s are gone, the impact of these commercials continues to resonate. No, it doesn't. Let's have a look at another one. Oh no, apparently I'm looking at the power of laughter, the impact of comedians on society. Have you ever stopped to think about the power of a good laugh? This video explores how comedians have shaped our world, from the sharp wit of Groucho Marx to the social commentary of Dave Chappelle. Discover the impact of... No wonder I flicked away from that. I mean, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of British or American humour. I don't know how the comedians like George Carlin, Bill Hicks and Robin Williams have shaped public discourse. I don't know about the impact of artificial intelligence, how AI is changing the way we consume and create humour. I mean, is it? Is it really? I use Midjourney for creating silly clip art for my videos, but I don't use the language-based ones, so I don't know if they can tell a good joke. Right. Laughter as a universal language. The impact of comedy across cultures and borders. I don't know anything about that. Comedy as a form of social commentary. How comedians have used humour to address political and social issues. I mean, I'm just... bewildered noises, you know? YouTube usefully creates thumbnails that I can use for my video. I'll download some of them and look at them in a while. So behind the scenes of classic British TV shows, I have zero access to behind the scenes of British TV shows. We're taking you on a journey into the heart of some of Britain's most beloved programmes. Really? Introducing the Golden Era, the making of a masterpiece from script to screen. I mean, that would take even longer than my videos take now. And for what? Discuss the enduring impact of these shows on British culture and beyond. I don't have time for that. More thumbnails, which I'll have a look at in a bit. I had a look for inspiration on another day, and YouTube had some other ideas of what its AIs would like to watch. And here we go. From stand-up to sitcom, the legacy of Robin Williams. Is Stephen Fry a Top Gear fan? The power of storytelling, David Attenborough and Billy Connolly. Hidden messages in 1990s British commercials. The lost art of the sitcom interview. And viewers are interested in the power of storytelling, David Attenborough and Billy Connolly, apparently. But let's have a look at what it suggests I should spend my time doing, structuring my videos. The legacy of Robin Williams is explored, examining his transition from stand-up comedy to successful sitcom roles, highlighting his unique comedic talent and enduring impact on the entertainment industry. His journey from the stage to the screen is examined through clips from his stand-up routines and iconic sitcom performances, showcasing his undeniable ability to make audiences laugh and think. Very popular topic with your viewers. It might be a very popular topic with my viewers, but the problem is I don't have any of that knowledge. Did you know that Robin Williams started his career as a stand-up comedian? Well, yes, I think everybody knew that. He also continued his career as a stand-up comedian. Let's have a look at another one. Is Stephen Fry a Top Gear fan? Stephen Fry's love of cars and humour is well known. But is he a secret Top Gear enthusiast? I have no idea, and I can't imagine anybody would be interested. I expect he appeared on it. Seems likely. Although Fry hasn't directly stated being a Top Gear fan, he has expressed his enjoyment of car-related content. What is car-related content? And some great thumbnails there. Next, The Power of Storytelling, David Attenborough and Billy Connolly. What do Sir David Attenborough and Billy Connolly have in common? More than you might think. Really? Okay. These two iconic storytellers, despite their vastly different styles, share a unique ability to captivate audiences and connect us to the world around us. Right. Or a benefit-driven hook. Want to learn how to captivate an audience and tell stories that truly connect? This video dives into the storytelling strategies of two masters, Sir David Attenborough and Billy Connolly, revealing the techniques that have made them global icons. Right.
There is more meaning and mutual understanding in exchanging a glance with a gorilla than any other animal I know.
This is, I need somewhere to park my bike.
I suppose this is giving me an insight into what AIs think when they put one word in front of another. Introduction: the art of captivating storytelling. Introduce the concept of storytelling and its importance in connecting with audiences. Explore Attenborough's signature style, calm, authoritative, and informative. Analyse his use of vivid imagery and sound to bring the natural world to life. Well, it's not just him making the programs, you know. There's a whole team of people. Analyse Connolly's unique blend of humour, storytelling, and philosophical observations. Compare and contrast the storytelling techniques of Attenborough and Connolly. This is just like some sort of essay you got to write, isn't it? Next. Hidden messages in 1990s British commercials. Hidden messages are revealed in iconic, there's that word again, 1990s British commercials. You'll be surprised at the clever techniques used to subtly influence consumer behaviour. Well, I would be surprised because I wasn't aware there were any hidden messages. I thought they were very overt messages. Couldn't create hooks. Well, I'm not surprised. The lost art of the sitcom interview. Now, I hadn't heard of a sitcom interview, so this is a new topic on me. The nostalgic charm of classic sitcoms is revisited, exploring the unique interview format that defined the era. I don't think there was a unique interview format that defined the era of classic sitcoms. A journey back in time to understand how the art of the sitcom interview, with its candid and humorous approach, captured the attention of millions. I'm still not clear on what a sitcom interview is. Is it a scene in a sitcom where a character goes for an interview? That did happen. Question hook. Remember those hilarious sitcom interviews where the stars spilled the tea on their funniest moments? Join us as we dive into the lost art of the sitcom interview and rediscover why these candid conversations captivated audiences for generations. Or a nostalgia hook. Get ready for a blast from the past! Remember those classic sitcom interviews where the stars shared behind-the-scenes secrets and hilarious anecdotes? Join us as we celebrate the golden age of the sitcom interview and relive the magic of these unforgettable conversations. What I'm getting from that is it's just a chat show where somebody who's appearing in a sitcom is interviewed. Something that continues to this very day. There is no such thing as a sitcom interview. That's just a concept that's been thought up by an AI, putting two words together. So these are the programs that AIs would like to watch, I think. The decline of the sitcom interview. Well, it hasn't declined, it's still going on. To be honest, it all sounds like far too much hard work. Most of these suggestions would take a large team of researchers to get right. Really, all that work's already been done by conventional television channels. I don't have those resources. And to be honest, I can't see the value in creating any of these videos that YouTube has suggested. By the time of my third and final visit to the well of inspiration, YouTube's AI had lost all grip on reality. It thought viewers would be interested in Stephen Fry's legacy beyond ashes to ashes. Stephen Fry's impact on British comedy and culture is explored, going beyond his iconic role in Ashes to Ashes. His wit, intellect and advocacy work are examined, highlighting his enduring legacy as a beloved public figure. Hooks. Intriguing question. Beyond his hilarious turn in Ashes to Ashes, Stephen Fry left an indelible mark on British culture. A legacy of wit and impact. Stephen Fry's comedic genius and his iconic role in Ashes to Ashes. His influence on British comedy and the impact he made with his sharp wit and comedic timing. Analysing how Ashes to Ashes solidified his position as a comedic icon in the UK. The problem here, of course, is that Stephen Fry did not appear in Ashes to Ashes. It's possible the AI is confusing him with Philip Glenister or Keely Hawes. Possibly how this confusion occurred is that Stephen Fry is a cricket enthusiast and he has made programmes about the Ashes Trophy. But he certainly didn't appear in Ashes to Ashes. Now I'm going to have a look at these thumbnails that YouTube suggested, because I'm sure they'll be good. These haven't been sorted, they're just in the order they appear on my hard disk. So there's a Tolly phone, London double-decker bus, lots of Union flags, Only Fools and Horses, which is spelt correctly, and the Vicar of Dibley. So that's for the sitcoms. Might be useful advice for me, sticking to a limited colour palette. Okay, here are people laughing at comedy. I'm a bit worried the woman at the back of the sofa has no legs. The family also seem to be very high on junk food, which they're eating very untidily. And although they've got the television on, they are looking at their devices and laughing, a bit scarily. In the background, there's a man who has a dog for a head. That's a very scary television programme. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It's possibly Elon Musk is looking down on a butcher's shop. I'm not familiar with that particular situation comedy. Okay. Some infected extras from The Last of Us going down the street there. So next. This is one of the Peter Cook thumbnails. They seem to think Peter Cook wore a bowler hat all the time. That was his shtick. You know, well, fair enough. They do a lot of thumbnails with microphones on. I really do not know what's going on. Television that hasn't been tuned in. It's a sonic screwdriver. Some sort of weird bird on a load of filing cabinets. Some teapots. Another bird. And yeah, that could be Kenneth Williams, I think. Again, British television programmes. There's a polyphone. A TARDIS in the background. Faulty Tola. Yeah, we all remember Faulty Tola. And Ben the Hill, some sort of mausoleum on the left. And sunflower. Okay. British television, there's Monty Python on a wooden spoon. A Dalek, just seems to be lifted from something, doesn't it? I mean, there's nothing being drawn by an AI about that. A clock with no big hand. I don't know what that is. It looks as if it's something for slapping people. Or gouging things. Perhaps this is one of those famous things for taking stones out of a horse's hooves. That could be possible. And a teapot. I cannot think that somebody seeing that on YouTube would say, I must watch that video. This is about the power of laughter, and it is one of the most horrific things I've ever seen designed by an AI. You know, it looks like someone who's been flayed, laughing away. It's scary. Let's have a look at another one. So, cereal. This is another Peter Cook, and I don't think he was famous for wearing a monocle, or the bowler hat, or a telephone box, or a telephone. And I really don't know what that device is made of wood with some sort of funny thing on the top of it. It's a saddle, isn't it? That's a nicely lit AI image with you can just about see Peter Cook on the record label. Probably one of the best ones I've seen. I'm not sure people would click on it. Then you've got a man with 5 fingers and 1 thumb, sort of zombie type hand, and then another one holding a microphone. Weird. A microphone and a somewhat dead looking rose. Again, bowler hat, glasses. Not what you would think of when you were thinking of Peter Cook. The power of laughter. Impact of comedians on society. Apart from laughter, it's all spelt correctly. These people look a bit mad to me. Here we are, behind the scenes, where we're making Doctor Who, I think. There are many doctors, each of them claiming they're going to stay for more than 2 years. You've got 2 TARDISes. The one on the left is bigger on the outside than on the inside, I think. So that's a very interesting, nice little robot there. There's a woman with a table for lower part of her body. Possibly the woman who was sitting on the sofa right at the start of this stuff. The 90s, that's not too bad, apart from this comic character is a bit weird. And Ingarteens, yeah, we all remember the Ingarteens, yeah. That advert was a classic. Right. So, projector, not very interesting. Another microphone, a camera lens, another microphone. The lost art of the Systcom, the inter-ear. I think it was lost for a reason, probably. And there's Hipstu Yus Kozvif Kirill Bealia. Certainly don't remember that. In this country, we wouldn't have been allowed breakfast cereal with all those colours. And this one is a video that almost saying death, isn't it? The serial killer couldn't spell. Manufactured by Mock, you know, they were very popular, you know, knock-off and things. And the really scary thing about the videotape is the way on the left spool the tape goes up to the top, and on the right-hand spool it goes down. Yeah, that's certainly something from a horror film, I think. Don't actually know what this one is referring to. People who have a lot of televisions in their house. It's interesting how they're all drawn in a similar style. Oh, another microphone. A sort of random pattern. I mean, is anybody going to click on that to see what the video's about? I don't think so. Hold on, just drop my mouse. And this is from the Attenborough and Connolly video. I mean, is that David Attenborough on the left? Is that what they're saying? Because he's so old? Is that Billy Connolly on the right because he's a stand-up comedian? Now I come to think of it. It's obvious AI, isn't it? You wouldn't get a 4-legged beastie like that, would you? A raptor-type head? Oh, another microphone. That'd be fine if I was doing some sort of new agey video. And of course, power of storytelling. That's just about David on the left of the image, I gotta see, but that is definitely not Billy Connolly on the right. I don't even know who that is. This is supposedly Stephen Fry on Top Gear, where some cars are going to be involved in a bit of an altercation in a couple of seconds. He seems very happy about it, and the programme is top left-hand corner is Top Ear. This is Stephen Fry and Top Gear. It is true that Stephen Fry used to, I don't know if he still does, used to have a black cab that used to drive around in, but I don't think he ever had a double-decker bus with a pair of glasses on the top deck. That's just about Stephen Fry. Yeah, I think it's sort of recognisable. And the question is on all our lips: is Stephen Top Gear Fry? His mangled hand holds all manner of, I don't know what on earth that is. Some cars. That could be some hybrid of Jeremy Clarkson and James May, possibly. It's all very odd. Would anybody be interested in a video saying, is Stephen Fry a Top Gear fan? Obviously the AIs would watch it. A fair rendition of Robin Williams, yes. But that's not a bad thumbnail at all. And Robin Lyolis sitcom with a very hairy hand there. And another microphone. Alright, here we go. From stand-up to Segacy of Robin Williams. Clearly the AI has been trained on that one picture or one video of Robin Williams. It doesn't have any idea of what he looked like when he was younger. And underneath there's Robin Williams with one L. But interesting, the Robin Williams doing the stand-up, who's managing to levitate his microphone there, is giving the whole concept a finger. This one I think was for the ads, and it reminds me of those groups on Facebook saying, I remember my Britain, or probably I remember my England. Things were better in my England, you know what I mean, mate? Do you remember all these? Remember going to the sweet shop and buying all these? So let me see if I can remember them. Rubicon and Rubicon, I mean that's very close to copyright infringement, I think. Mquek Lodos, oh I remember them, yeah, they were those sort of fizzy caramels, weren't they? Yeah, I remember them. And above them the can of Onreal. All of us wanted to be that kid with the fat arms. You know, he was a real role model. We all wanted to be him because he was allowed to go around barefoot and we had to wear shoes. And above that there's Ukal bars. Yeah, Ukal bars. They were meant to be like 1 calorie. It was originally 0 cal bars, but in fact they took them off the market because just one of those bars was the equivalent of all the food you needed for a week, and they were very high in fat. Then there's, can't even see what that one's called. That was the one above it. That was sort of like a lucky bag, where you got all these novelties. You got a load of cigarette butts. They were biscuit, and then you got like a jelly mould that was full of spikes. There was hard candy there, and then there was sort of bedspread made of lemon jelly. People didn't really like those. There was the Creole's HML that nobody could ever pronounce, and they weren't on the market very long. They were like a slab of Kendal mint cake when you actually opened it up. It was really very disappointing. You know, all the creative work went into the naming of the thing, thinking that kids would find it cool in the 1970s, but they didn't. Then there's one that's the wrong way up, but it was 10p Fruits, which was a fruity bar. And underneath that there's Ploleen Serbs, which was licorice. And underneath that there's Punital, which was basically Turkish Delight. It was a rose flavoured thing. It was one of those things where you first bite you thought it was really nice, but by about the third you were really regretting having spent all your pocket money on one of those, especially when you choked on one of the flaked almonds on it. Then there's Crunchies, which was a local rip-off of Crunchy. You know, all they did was change the colour of the packet from gold to golden, because you know it wasn't plastic. It was a metallic cardboard wrapper, and underneath that Crunchies. And then there was Normal Booze, where kids would buy because it had the word booze in it, but they were just standard fruit chews, I think. There's Weok Bond. That was a disaster because it had the word "we" in it, which meant that nobody fancied drinking it. And also that particular flavour was Quincy Wallow. Quinces are a bit of an acquired taste when you're a kid, I think. And underneath that there's the Spigay. That was something that was imported from Eastern Europe. Nobody knew what it was. It had a very artificial flavour because it came from the Soviet Union at that time, and nobody really knew much about it. Nobody could really identify it. And then you've got, for no apparent reason, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Perhaps they were Pez type candy distributors. Above that there's the tie-in with the famous television series Tundibids. Everybody liked those Super Marionation shows, and obviously it was often the case that you'd get bars and sweets that were branded with popular things. You know, there was Dalek Death Ray Lolly, of course, and things like that. But Tundibids was very, very odd. As you can see from the colour, it's sort of blackcurrant chocolate. And behind that there's Space Rocket type thing from the late 1960s. I mean, it was just giving away a cheap toy and sticking some mints in it, and then charging more than the toy and the mints would have cost separately. Then there's another Crunchy, and above that there's a sort of a selection pack. So yeah, mate, do you remember those? Yeah, things were much better then, weren't they, mate? I do find myself wondering who runs those nostalgia pages on Facebook. I think it's at least worth entertaining the possibility that they might actually be run by foreign powers who mean us harm. Part of the mission of propaganda is to demoralise and depress your opposition. And although it can be fun to look back, the constant repetition of things were better in the old days can be quite pernicious, I think. If your aim was to destabilise another nation, then it would probably help if you started to undermine social cohesion by getting people to repeat the message, things were better in the old days, things are rubbish now. Fact is, whatever time you live at, there are some things that are fine and some things that could be better. So, rant over. And that concludes the thumbnails that I downloaded. Thank you for watching.